name is Estelle Brink and I'm with Jericho Walls International Prayer Network. Today we start a brand new series called The Spiritual Significance of Returning to Bethel, the Place of Encounter. As believers, we all pass through different seasons throughout our lives. And then from time to time, God calls us back to revisit the times and places where He first spoke to us about our lives and calling. When you carefully study the lives of great men and women of God in the Bible, you will see God visiting them and calling them to focus on Him again before continuing to the next part of their journey. This happened to many of them. Let us read the encounter of Abraham when he was still Abram. Genesis 13 verse 3-4 says, "And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the altar which he had made there at first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord." It was somehow important for Abraham, known as the father of faith, to return to the place where he first encountered God. Next, let us look at the account of Genesis 28. It is now years later, and Jacob, Abraham's grandson, fled from his brother after taking his birthright from him in a deceitful way. On his way, Jacob settled down to sleep at what the Bible calls a certain place. In this place, Jacob had an amazing spiritual encounter with the Lord, speaking to him about his calling and the lineage of Abraham, and he saw angels ascending and descending upon him. Let us read Genesis 28 verse 16 and 17. "Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, 'Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it.' And he was afraid and said, 'How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven.'" After this encounter, Jacob also called the place Bethel. Bible scholars agree that this place is possibly the exact same place where Abraham first built his altar unto the Lord, and that is one stone that Jacob may have taken from that deteriorated altar of Abraham decades ago to sleep on. No wonder there was this open heaven. Fast forward many years, and now Jacob and his wives and children left the house of Laban on his way back where he came from. Now God appears to Jacob and tells him, "Return to Bethel, the place of encounter," the place where God first spoke to him about his life and calling. Let us read Genesis 31 verse 13. "I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar and where you made a vow to me. Now arise and get out of this land and return to the land of your family." And again sometime later in Genesis 35 verse 1, "Then God said to Jacob, 'Arise, go up to Bethel and dwell there and make an altar there to God who appeared to you when you fled from the face of Esau, your brother.'" It is something very special for the Lord when we return to our Bethel, the place of encounter where He gave us words at the beginning of our walk with Him. It is very special and important to recall those events and pray through them again, asking the Lord what He is saying to us now. And to help us better understand what this means for you and me right now, let us focus in the next few sessions on the theme, the spiritual significance and protocols for us today to return to Bethel. Will you not in this week sit down in your times with the Lord and revisit the words, the promises, and the times you recall when He spoke to you about your life and why you are here? Bring each matter before the Lord in prayer. And in the next session, we will study and explore our spiritual responsibilities regarding the calling and the promises of God on our lives. Don't waste time. Don't just forget about this. This is a call to return to Bethel. This is a call to return to the place of encounter. This is a time when you must soften your heart again, when I set my heart towards God again, where I pause in the busyness of ministry or the busyness of life and children and whatever is the different things that you are responsible for. Do not waste these moments of revisiting the things God said to you a long time ago.